Literally, there is nothing that Joe Biden will do that Fox News won't find a way to criticize. Let's talk about it in today's video. Hi, I'm Mike Greiner. I'm a lifelong Democratic activist who's concerned about the direction our country is taking. I'm also a lawyer and an academic, and I'm here to help you stand up to the BS of the MAGA crowd. So in a supposed hot mic moment, they catch Joe Biden just joking around with a fellow Democrat in Florida. What is Fox News trying to do? Turn it into a big scandal, of course. Let's check it out.
President Biden meeting with Governor Ron DeSantis during his visit to hurricane-ravaged Florida, and while he was there surveying the devastation.
Okay, let's talk about this briefly, because of course, President Biden came with federal assistance at the Florida's time of need without hesitation, and in fact, even Ron DeSantis had to praise the federal response. Now that's what a real president would do, quite in contrast to what Donald Trump did, where he literally would deny states that didn't support him any kind of federal assistance. I'm talking about you, California. Let's not forget about that. This is the way a real president behaves. And to give Ron DeSantis credit, for once, he actually has done something good and for the people of his state, which is to praise President Biden for his great response to this crisis. Let's keep watching.
He took the opportunity to blame climate change and push the Democrats' green agenda.
There's a lot going on. And I think the one thing this has finally ended is a discussion about whether or not there's climate change and we should do something about it.
The president.
He's right. This clearly is the result of climate change. We're getting more and more serious hurricanes as a result of climate change, and we have to do something about it, or literally the Earth's going to be on fire. Let's keep watching.
And also had this very interesting hot mic moment. Everybody's talking about it today when he was talking to the mayor of Fort Myers Beach. Listen.
Thanks for everything. Thanks for coming down. We appreciate it. I'll keep the food.
Now that's joking around. That's quite in contrast to the hot mic moment that President Trump was caught on, where he made the pussy grabber comments. In each case, I think they're showing a lot about the person themselves. In Joe Biden's case, he's a guy who's a fighter, who tries to stand up for what he believes in, and who has warm relationships with the people he engages with. Donald Trump, on the other hand, is a misogynistic pig who brags about his sexual conquests. Let's keep watching.
Uncomfortable.
Joe Concha, author of the new book. Come on, man. The truth about Joe Biden's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad presidency joins us now. Joe, I endeavor to read that a different way every day until they give the read to Carly.
You know, I need to write a book like this that gets me on Fox News or something all the time like this. Just the title of his book has made him a big celebrity. But let's keep watching.
Getting down to serious business here for a moment. Care to provide the president a list of all the people effing with the Biden? I can name two just yesterday, North Korea and OPEC.
Very good point. Yeah, and nothing says trying to sound like some sort of combination between Clint Eastwood and Samuel L. Jackson, like being braggadocious in the middle of a disaster zone.
That was not being braggadocious. The pussy grabber comment was being braggadocious. This is just joking around with a fellow Democrat. Let's keep watching.
Wait, nobody F's with the Biden. I believe the Taliban did when they invaded or when they took over Afghanistan again.
Let's remember why the Taliban took over Afghanistan. That was because President Trump released the Taliban fighters and then made the deal that the United States would withdraw. Let's keep watching.
And took Kabul in about the time it takes to deliver a pizza. Saudi Arabia also did, obviously, with raising gas prices here in the
You see, Saudi Arabia, now that I love that example because of the fact that this is clearly an example of Saudi Arabia messing with the Bidens, but what they're trying to do is trying to put the Republicans and Trump back in charge because, of course, they like how they've treated them. Let's not forget that the Saudis, of course, are the ones who gave a $2 billion investment to Jared Kushner. So who do you think they'd rather see in the White House? Let's keep watching.
This country by cutting back their production. China does on a daily basis F's with Biden. And then, as you said, North Korea launching.
Actually, I don't think China F's with Biden so much as Biden has been fighting a very strong battle on behalf of the United States against China. Let's keep watching.
Missiles over Japan. They appear to be doing that as well. So
Let's also remember why North Korea is doing that, and that's because President Bush blew up the deal that had been worked out by the Clinton administration with the North Koreans. Let's keep watching.
I also get a kick out of, by the way, the fact that he says, well, this storm was about climate change and we should do something about it. As if we spent trillions upon trillions of dollars fighting climate change here, that would stop a hurricane that formed thousands of miles away from hitting this country with the devastation that it did.
Now, this is just another one of those asinine arguments, like people saying, oh, it's snowing outside. Obviously, there's no global warming. Number one, Joe Biden did not say only that we needed to deal with climate change. He said that climate change is a problem that needs to be addressed. And obviously, it's a global problem. But what's more is the United States, if we're going to provide leadership on this issue, then we need to be addressing it as well. We can't so much be telling other countries, oh, you need to address climate change when we're not addressing it. So the actions of the Biden administration have given us moral authority to address this. Finally, it's not like pollution knows about boundaries of countries. So yes, in fact, the American pollution has helped cause these storms that are forming thousands of miles away because of the fact that the pollution from the United States goes up into the atmosphere and then spreads around the world. Imagine that. We really have to get on that pollution to make sure it respects national boundaries better, right? Let's keep watching.
It's just, again, never let a crisis go to waste, I believe one politician once said. I think it was Rahm Emanuel, and now we're seeing it in real time where this hurricane, where so many people are hurting, is being exploited for all the wrong reasons, guys.
Yes.
Except for the fact that this is a fact, that there are more and worse storms as a result of climate change. Let's keep watching.
So a few days ago, he said he was Puerto Rican politically.
Who amongst us is it?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Well, that was him trying to empathize with the Puerto Ricans. Quite the contrast with Donald Trump going there and throwing the paper towel rolls to desperate people. Remember that? Let's keep watching.
Exactly. And now he's saying no one bleeps with a Biden, which is interesting.
I literally am.
Yeah, you're only Puerto Rican politically. Got it. But he made that comment also when his son is under federal investigation. So I don't know.
Yes, and in fact, I did another video about this, but that is evidence of the fact that, by the way, the Biden administration, contrary to claims otherwise, is not politicizing the FBI. That's a good thing. Let's keep watching.
You're reading too much into it there, but maybe not the best time to be saying no one messes with my family.
Great point. Great point. And look, when the GOP takes back the House in November, and that's looking more and more like it's going to happen, first order of business will be launching investigations into Hunter Biden, into that laptop, Tony Bob.
Now, I think that's one thing that is true, that you can expect if the Republicans take control of either House of Congress, they're going to spend all their time engaging in investigations and impeaching Joe Biden repeatedly for whatever reason they can think of. It'll be Benghazi all over again, 24/7. So if you vote for Republicans, that's what you're going to get. No more progress on any issues that actually matter to people. And if we're lucky, they won't be shutting down the government to boot. Let's keep watching.
Zelensky with Tucker again this week, talking about him getting a call from the president's brother in the middle of an FBI interview. There's so many questions here that so many in media simply are not pursuing at this point. So I guess it's up to either this network and a few other outlets in Congress in the Republican version to try to draw this out, because the president of the United States could be compromised by China and Ukraine at this point, and we deserve answers.
This is the same network that's defending President Trump taking top secret documents down to Florida and said nothing about the $2 billion investment that the Saudis made to Jared Kushner's fund. Talk about being compromised. Let's keep watching.
As voters.
Carly took the serious investigatory question. I'll take fashion. The media ignoring First Lady Jill Biden's heels during a visit to the Florida hurricane site after blasting Melania Trump for literally doing the same thing. Let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? New York Times claiming Melania finds herself on thin heels. Vogue called out the hurricane stilettos and the White House's continual failure to understand optics. And the Washington Post accusing the former First Lady of offering up a fashion moment instead of an expression of empathy. But let's cue up the picture of...
Let's remember, by the way, what else she was wearing, which is the jacket that says, "I really don't care, do you?" That seems like a pretty strong statement, more so than stilettos or not wearing stilettos. But let's keep watching here for a second.
One Jill Biden doing the exact same thing. Your reaction when Jill Biden does it.
Okay, look at her shoes. Here they are claiming, oh my God, she's wearing stilettos just like Melania Trump did. She's wearing flats. And they admit that here in a second, trying to kind of back off from the claim that they did. Check out how they did that.
And crickets.
Oh, that's that. I don't know.
Those are those flats?
Yeah. But that's okay. She was wearing.
She was wearing them. Trust
She was
us.
wearing wedges, I believe.
Trying to get out of what they just said. Let's keep watching.
Yes. Look, I have a Google machine, and I looked before we did this segment and tried to see, okay, can I find the Washington Post or Vogue or the New York Times criticizing the current First Lady in terms of her footwear? And, of course, you can't find it. Look, Melania Trump was treated as...
No, they attacked Jill Biden for having her doctoral degree. That's what they attacked her about. Let's keep watching.
Poorly by the media than any First Lady in history. That's by a country mile, by the way. Remember every year her Christmas decorations of the White House? They were ruthlessly mocked by the Washington Post, other major media outlets.
Now, let's remember what happened with these Christmas decorations. I love how they take these things and twist them into being something else. No, there was an example where Stephanie Winston Wolkoff, a former friend and senior advisor to Melania Trump, secretly recorded some conversations between herself and Melania Trump, where Melania Trump, who claimed to be such a good Christian and so caring, talked about, quote, "I'm working my ass off on Christmas stuff. You know that? Who gives an F about the Christmas stuff and decorations? But I need to do it, right?" That's what people were criticizing about her Christmas decorations, not whether they were nice or not. Let's keep watching.
She's a legal immigrant to this country, yet the late night host Jimmy Kimmel, the Pope of late night, mocked her accent after she was reading to children at an Easter event. I mean, Melania...
No, let's talk about what actually was the problem with her immigrant status, which is the fact that she used the chain migration to get her parents' U.S. citizenship at the same time as Donald Trump is trying to block other people from getting it. It's hypocrisy that was the problem, not her accent. Let's keep watching.
He speaks, 5 languages or 4 more than Kimmel, so he has that going for him. So.
Yeah, but she also copies all of Michelle Obama's speeches, too. So let's give that one to Michelle Obama. Let's keep watching.
So it's no surprise Dr. Jill Biden gets a pass here because the double standard, that's the rule, not the
except she doesn't get a pass. They're attacking her and she wasn't even wearing heels. Let's keep watching.
Exception, guys.
It certainly is. It's very interesting, the difference in media coverage for the first.
I'd like to apologize for
the difference in the coverage. Yes, it is interesting. Let's keep watching.
Failing on the fashion front. I don't know heels from flats, so I should have just kept my mouth shut.
No, she was wearing heels, yes.
I've offended,
Nor should you.
I've offended women, the nation,
more important
our wardrobe
than
department.
Shoes. Yes.
Joe, thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
I mean, this is the same channel that criticized President Obama for the scandal when he wore a brown suit. Oh my God. Well, if you want to see more about the whole Afghan situation, how actually President Biden did a great job dealing with a very difficult situation that was left him by the prior administration, check out this video over here. It's just one more example of how the Trump administration left an entire mess that the Biden administration has had to clean up. I'll see you then. In the meantime, let's hope for continued progress. Thank you.